The Black Yogi Tribe. Peace of mind comes piece by piece. What's up, Black Yogi Tribe? Welcome back to another podcast. I am joined today by this beautiful flower, and we will have her introduce herself in a moment. I want to tell you all about this space, right? So, right now, we have a collective of almost 30 Black, Brown, Indigenous people of color yogis on Facebook, and we're all over the world. We're in the north, the south, the east, the west, everywhere. And that is how I actually got a pleasure of being connected with this beautiful flower. So please introduce yourself. Let us know. Let the people know who you are.
Yes. So I am born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana. I
Hmm.
go by the human sunflower, but mainly just sunflower. That's what people call me. But I have been teaching yoga since 2020. I've been practicing since 2018. And although I teach yoga for a lot of reasons, I'm mainly known as the smoking yoga teacher here in my
Hmm.
city. So when people
Okay.
hear that they get to enjoy what we call pedals in my class, then they really would
Hmm.
like to come. And so I'm happy just to introduce yoga to people and all the things it does for me, all the things I feel like it can do for them. And yeah, that's just who I am. I'm a sunflower because I like to share my light, and I'm here to do so across the world so that I can help people discover their own inner lights. That's my goal.
I love that. Look, you just kicked it all off. I love that. Okay. That is the way to do it. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
So, what inspired you to become a yoga teacher and how has it impacted your life?
So first of all, I'm not a physical person. I like to tell people that off the jump. I don't like to exercise or anything like that. That is not my jam. Okay, but I suffer from what I like to call emotional imbalance. Right, so the doctors call it clinical depression. I don't really like that term, so I call it emotional imbalances. But I got to a really dark place where I felt like, man, I don't ever want to be there again. I
Mm,
don't want to go back to that. And there is something that I need to do because, man, that was not okay how I felt or what I was, thinking about. So I started doing research on things about depression, things that'll help me. And I discovered yoga among my research.
mm,
And I was like,
mm.
I'm not a physical girl, but you know what? I don't want to take pills. So let me give this a try. And
Yes.
oh my gosh, it became so much for me. What yoga has done for me
Mm,
is, I don't know, I can't even really, like, it's everything. So it made me discover who I am outside of being a wife and a mom because I am those things and I've been with my husband since I was 14. So that's a real big part of my identity, but I need to figure out who the fuck I was, right? Outside of that.
yes. Yes.
And yoga led me to that, surprisingly. So I was like, fuck, like this is a great tool. Like I need to share this with people. I need other black women especially to have this tool to not only deal with our daily stresses, but
Hmm.
to know like it's okay to still be who we are, like be us and still be a mom and all those other things, right? So but
Hmm.
we have to find a way to pour into ourselves. My favorite phrase is pouring from your overflow, not pouring from your
Mm.
cup. Your cup belongs to you, that is yours. And yoga
Mm.
taught me that. So that's why I became a yoga teacher. I just wanted to share that with people. I wanted to give them a space where they didn't have to be anybody but themselves, not a mom or
Mm.
husband or teacher or whatever the fuck we are in life. I
Mhm.
just want you to be you, and I want you to find that release and feed into yourself so that we're able to handle life and all the things that come at us. So that's why I became a yoga teacher, and yoga has been, man, everything to me. I love her. She's so much.
Mhm. Yes, yes, yes. I want to highlight and celebrate what you said, that portion that was so beautiful about don't pour from your cup, pour from your
Yes,
overflow. See, a lot of
absolutely.
folks have been heard and taught and told over and over again to, pour into a cup and to pour from
Hmm.
their cup. And so I really want to highlight that. I thought that was really magical. I hope you all out there are catching this, okay? This is some gems that she's dropping within the first 5 minutes of the show. Let's get into it. um, what challenges have you faced as a Black yoga teacher? And how have you overcome them? Because I love how you incorporated, you said, you know, sharing the practice of yoga, especially as a Black woman, and then,
Oh
with
yeah.
Black people, people of color. Let us know about the challenges.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's been very hard. I've been teaching yoga for 3 years, and when I first discovered yoga, I discovered it due to a lady called Trap Yoga Bay.
Okay.
And I love her, but at that time, that was the only Black yoga teacher I could find, and
Okay.
that was crazy to me. And as I started, it was like it was just YT yoga studios and all that stuff, and they expect you to teach a certain way and to do things a
Mhm.
certain style, and that's
Mhm.
just not me. That's not who I am.
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like the people that are called to me or that I am called to,
Mhm.
they're not that way either. So it was just really hard for me to like find a space of like where I can teach or how I can get myself out there, especially when our community at that time really thought like yoga was, like a YT thing. It wasn't for us. And I'm like,
Mhm.
no, we do that. Like, it's for us. Like,
Mhm.
come on, guys. And so I just started really getting myself out there. I was like, at some point, I got discouraged as, am I good enough? Am I at the
Hmm.
quality of these other yoga teachers? But I've had students that have really poured into me as much as I've poured into them, and led me to believe like fuck that, like no, I am as
Hmm.
good as I think I am, and I teach the way I teach, and it draws who it needs to draw. So
Mhm.
fuck that, I'm going to step into these spaces where these other teachers are, and I'm just going to be
Mhm.
there, and I'm going to be myself and introduce myself as who I am, and fuck that, it's just going to be what it is. So
Mhm.
doing that, I found this year, really 2022,
Mhm.
the Black yogis in my city. Oh my fucking
Yes.
gosh. Who
Yes.
knew there were so many of us? I am
Yes.
so happy, like with the amount of Black people that are pouring into us. And so now I'm just like, fuck
Mhm.
it. We're going to all spaces. We're telling Black
Mhm.
people it's for us. We're going to continue to yell
Mhm.
it. We're going to continue to scream it. We're going to continue to show them because fuck it. We need this too. So it's been hard, but the last year has definitely, I don't know, it's been a huge difference. And at this point, I've created my own space. Like,
Yes.
fuck that. I've went and found
Mhm.
somebody who sees my vision, who agrees with it, and is willing to help me in that. So, fuck that. I
Hmm.
created a space. We come to my
Hmm.
space and we do it. Not that other people
Hmm.
aren't welcome, but this is for us. Like,
Mhm.
we come here and we enjoy. And it's a
Mhm.
community, and I fucking love that. It's
Mhm.
beautiful. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. I want to highlight that in particular, right? It's like when sometimes when the door is shut in our face, sometimes we're standing there knocking, knocking, knocking. When if you turn around, there's a whole gazebo of things, that a whole plethora of
Man.
things that are really waiting. So sometimes man's rejection is really like universe's protection. And so some of those
Absolutely.
places we were never supposed to be. So I love the fact that you said that. That's a lot of what the Black Yogi tribe is. We were born out of rejection, out of the
Yeah.
lack of representation and visibility, in the South here in Birmingham, Alabama. So I love that.
Yeah, fuck that. Create our own spaces. We deserve it and we can do it. Fuck that shit. I'm tired of begging for space.
Hmm.
Make our
Hmm.
own.
Hmm.
Fuck
You know
that.
what I mean? And that kind of leads me into like the next question, right? Like, what do you think personally needs to change in the yoga industry to promote diversity and inclusiveness? Because did you see how you had to search for the black people, right? You had to search for the black yoga teachers. You had to search for the black studios, right? Our studio is the very first black owned yoga studio in Birmingham, Alabama, right? And so, you know what I mean? It's like
Yes.
there's a population of what, 7% of black yoga teachers, and then I think less than 10% of practitioners. So what do you think, Sunflower?
I think at this point we need to stop asking for permission. I feel like we've been knocking at this door like, "Hey, can you guys let us in?" Trying to prove and show that we are at where they are at. And at this point, fuck it. I don't care. I don't care to prove. I don't care to show. I don't care
Hmm.
for any of that. We need to make our own spaces. Like the
Hmm.
whole melanin event, fuck that. That's our space. We're going to create that space. We're going to do that shit. We don't need you. I'm not asking for permission. I made it. And all the people that support are going to fucking be there. At this point, I feel like the more that we continue to do that and continue to show them like my
Hmm.
validation does not come from you, and I'm
Hmm.
not seeking it nor am I asking
Hmm.
for it. I don't give a fuck about it. It no longer holds any weight to me. Okay, so
Yes.
now that we've got that out the way, here I am. This is what the fuck we do. This is what the
Hmm.
fuck we are about, and we're
Hmm.
here. And the more that I see black yogis take over that space, it makes me happy because eventually there's going to be so many of us where you can't ignore us, where
Hmm.
we're no
That's
longer a
right.
minority in the yoga space, where we are the yoga space, and you're going to have
Hmm.
to let us in. We barged
Hmm.
through the doors.
Come on now.
We
Come
are
on
here
now.
now.
We
So
are.
I
We
think that's what
are.
we're doing, and I think that's what we need to continue to do. That's why I feel like there's no room for us to shame one another. There's no room for me to be like, "Oh, I'm a yogi teacher. Let me not support that yoga teacher." Fuck that shit. I'm supporting every yoga teacher that comes across my space that is black.
Hmm.
Baby, we're all gonna win. We're gonna flood the area.
Hmm.
All of us.
Hmm. Hmm. I love that. I love that. So what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, what I'm hearing is what needs to change to promote diversity is that we just have to stop being fearful, like not come from a place of fear or come from a place of necessity where we need to be accepted or validated. It's like we have to validate our own self.
Yes.
Okay.
So classy. Yes, ma'am. That was it. That's it. We need to stop asking for permission and just do that shit.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Love that. Love that. So, in your pedals class or outside of your pedals class, can you share your favorite yoga pose and why it's meaningful to you?
Oh, so I'm a sucker for hip openers. Like I said, I
Mm,
suffer from poor emotional balance, and I've discovered that a lot of my emotions and my stresses and all that stuff, they sit right there in my little hips and they just
mm-hmm,
fester. So
mm-hmm.
I love a good hip opener. I love a pigeon pose. I love getting into some yogi squats. I just anything that really just opens up those hips and pops that stuff I'm here for. Also, though, as a mommy who was not educated at the time and got an epidural and has back problems,
Mm,
I love me some good back stretches, okay? I love a good
mm,
camel pose. I love anything that really
mm,
pops that back a little bit, a supine
mm.
twist, something that really gets in it and releases. I feel like people be like, those posters are so like, but once you really get into it, I feel like
Mm,
you fall in love and you're like,
mm,
yeah, let me sit right there for a second. I'm like, yes.
Mhm.
That's it.
Mhm. Be in it, because it's like that's kind of why I really love restorative and then yin, because it's you can experience it, right? Even Ashtanga, you hold it for 5 breaths, you can't just get in it and then move. You got to breathe in that thing. It's like a breath to get in it, a breath to be in it, a breath to come out. You know what I mean?
Yes, you have to feel the pose. Sit in it, feel it, breathe through it because that's how you get the benefit of it. That's how you get
Mhm.
this click that us yoga teachers are like, yes,
Mm,
that's what you
yes.
need.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's what brought us here, right? Um,
Yes.
in your resources, in your toolbox, in your kit, what could you give the folks? What are some books, some podcasts, any resources that you would recommend, maybe seasoned or brand new Black yoga teachers?
Oh my gosh. I am a big like life experience person, right? So
Mm,
it's just been getting out there, actually finding other yoga teachers in
mm,
your city, right? Even if you're like me and kind of antisocial, get out there, get out of your box because surrounding yourself with other Black yoga teachers teaches you so much. The
mm,
different practices that I've come across, the different knowledge that I've come across has been absolutely beautiful. And then just studying, right? If you find something you're interested in yoga, just study it. I've
mm.
done podcasts on women that are, fat yoga experience, that's what it was called, and they're just teaching about how
Yes.
it's their body and their love. And I'm not a big girl by any means, but I support that and I love that, so I wanted to hear about that journey, and that alone taught me so much. So
Mhm,
just always learning, always being open to different experiences. And man, I just feel like people say, it kills me when people come to me for knowledge because I feel like I'm still learning so much and there's so
yes.
much more for me to learn out there. So just always not feeling like you've learned enough because
Hmm,
I got my license and at some point people tell me, well, you know what you're doing. And I'm like, hmm,
mm,
there's just so much more out there that people can teach me. There's so much more out there. And my students teach me every day. So not being afraid to
yes.
learn from your students because
Mm,
they're my teachers too. They teach me, I feel like, as
absolutely.
much as I teach them. And I
Hmm,
really don't know what I would be without their lessons as a person and as a teacher. So,
hmm.
man, knowledge is everywhere. Just learn and be open and be receptive because it's everywhere.
Okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. I love that. And as a teacher, we are always students, right? We are a
Yes.
student of the practice always,
Yes.
and if we're living in the yoga journey and the practice of awareness, we're in the present moment. So in the present moment, you are learning, you're receiving, you're always receiving. So that's dope. That's dope. Um,
I
how do you
love
incorporate?
you.
Say yes, we're like hugging right now
Yes,
in my whole
absolutely.
energy.
Just
Yes.
because I love you.
I was telling Paradise, I was like, she's so beautiful. He was like, oh, just wait, just wait, just wait. So I was like, okay, okay. So I'm so
That's my
happy for
friend. I love y'all.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So how do you incorporate elements of your cultural heritage, of your background into your yoga practice, into sharing, or just how do you bring it in?
At first, I was very nervous about that, and I didn't think that that was so much appropriate because I was taught this particular flow and how I should teach it and how it should go.
Mm,
So I thought
mm,
that that was really important, and it took me a while to try to really become open with students and be like, this is how I practice at home and not the way that I'm teaching you, right? And this is what really helps me and not what I feel like is by the book. And it took this particular student, but she just really showed me like, no, like when you have those moments where you burst out and you show your, personality or who you are or what brought you to yoga and your beliefs, I love that. And you apologize and you don't have to apologize. Like, I love that. That's what brings me to your class. And I had to
Mm,
sit with that for a moment, like, fuck, like, there's so much that yoga does for me that I believe in or that I want to share. And I just feel like it's not appropriate. And apparently, maybe that's what's been holding me back because I wasn't getting a lot of students at that time. And yoga was not
mm,
really going the way I wanted it to go. And the more that I shared my personal journey and I believe in and what it does for me, man, I started to draw more and more people. So at this point, I don't teach the way other yoga teachers teach.
mhm,
I don't have this very like consistent pose from pose from pose from pose. That's not the way that I flow. My
mm,
personality comes out, and at this point I've learned that that's what they love. We take breaks, we laugh, we giggle, we talk shit through our poses. I take time to love on each one of my students. There's times where I have
mm,
to apologize. I'm like, sorry guys, I just had to get with this one person because there was something I saw in you that I really wanted to touch and take time to do. In my
mm,
class, they forward this shit. They be like, all right, fuck it. And they're like, you're fine. And we get back into our flow.
mm,
So it took me a while, but I've learned that fuck that shit. The way that you teach and the way that other yoga teachers that I have around me, the way that they teach,
mhm,
it
mhm,
calls who we are supposed to call. My
mm,
students that I have now that have been in my classes for a while have different parts of them that are just like me. So we
mm.
need that little laugh break and we need that little he during our poses in class before we get back into the shit. So no, fuck that.
Yes.
Teach how you are supposed to teach how your heart calls, teach how you do your personal practices because there's somebody out there that needs that wants to practice just the way that you practice and they're not going to get that from anybody else but
Mhm,
you. So,
mhm,
no, I teach the way I teach. I call who I call, and that's who I'm here for. That's who Yahweh has put me here for. So, I'm not
hmm,
trying to convert myself. I'm just who I
hmm.
am.
Absolutely. I love that. And that is the whole purpose and reason of why we're doing this, right? Because
Yeah.
visibility is key. If you see something and you're always seeing the same thing, it's kind of like this framework that's like conditioning you, then you
Yes.
might fall into the trap of being in that space, right? But like you're saying, how your personality when you were being yourself, when you were expressing yourself, those type of people came to your class and they vibrated with that space. So I love that. I think that's elegant. I think it's yes, yes, yes.
Thank
Come
you.
through. Come through.
Yes.
So you did mention that you love on your students, you take breaks. Other than that, what else? Or is that a main focus on how you approach teaching yoga in a way that's culturally responsive and inclusive for BIPOC students?
So one thing that I always say, first of all, when students come into my class, especially my black students, because I feel like there's this persona in our head, right? That when we see yoga poses, they have to be this way, they have to look that way, or if I'm not doing it this way, then I'm not doing it right, and I'm not.
Mhm,
Fuck that shit. The first thing
mhm,
I tell you when you come to my class is I don't believe in perfect poses. I don't know what the fuck
mm,
that is.
mm,
Okay.
mm.
As long as you've gotten into the pose the way I've instructed you to get into it and you feel the benefit, bitch, you did that shit. We trained our
Yes,
body for what the fuck it
yes.
is done. And you're not supposed to look like anybody in my class. You shouldn't look like me. You shouldn't look like the person next to you. You should look like you. There are no judgments in
Mm,
my class. It is a judgment free zone, okay? And we also share
mm,
grace. Don't be hard on yourself. I don't like that shit. I don't like it. I will call
mm,
you out. Stop it. Be
mm.
nice because this is a safe
Yes.
place. We are here to just enjoy, heal, and do our meditative movements, okay? So we
Mm,
can get through our life. I don't know. No, no,
mm,
no, 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 no. No, no, no. It's
mm.
not like those other classes. You come in, you look how you look, baby, and you enjoy that shit. No,
Yes, yes,
it's a safe
yes.
space. And the fact that we
Hmm.
have a lot of black people in here, I hope you feel safer, baby. Because
Yes,
that's who
yes,
is here for. Like, no, I love you. It's here for black people. I met this yoga teacher who does comedic yoga. I was like, bitch, you gotta come to my class, okay? So I didn't
yes.
say bitch. But you know, in my head, I'm like, bitch, you gotta come to my class. Because no, show black people that this is for us. Like,
Hmm.
no, this belongs to us just as it belongs to anybody else. So there's no judgment in my class. It's
Hmm.
a safe
Hmm.
zone. You come and bend how you bend. We laugh and giggle at each other. As long as
Okay.
you don't give up.
Okay.
Okay, you give up,
Yes.
then I got a problem. But
Hmm. Now we gotta
no,
talk.
I try to make it as safe as possible so that you feel like it's okay for you to be here. And my
Hmm.
little garden, because that's what I call my community, my class, my little garden,
Yes.
we be here for you, okay? You fall out, we be like, yes, honey, get back in it. We support one another. It's never
Hmm.
oh my God, you can't know. If anything, we're loving on each other. Like, no, you can do it. You can do it. Like,
Hmm.
fuck
Hmm.
that. There's nobody that can't do shit in my class.
That's so beautiful. That's literally that's so beautiful. And that leads us kind of into the next one, like about some of the misconceptions about Black people and yoga. And how do you think personally that we can challenge those misconceptions?
Do it.
Okay. Okay.
Fucking do it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do
Mhm.
it. Like, I think the more that we continue to come out and challenge those things, the more that we continue to see things that we're like, oh, white people do, and we do that shit and we put our little jazz on it the way that we always do, then it will
Mhm.
continue to show our community like this shit is us. Like,
Mhm.
there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to, be like, I can't. Why not? That's fuck that shit. That's why, like, I don't even my husband will tell you like money is the last thing that's on my fucking mind because I don't want that to be something that stops you either. Like fuck that.
Mhm.
It's accessible
Mhm.
to you because it's
Mhm.
for you.
Mhm.
No, stop the
Mhm.
conceptions. Fuck that. We're gonna go out. We're gonna do it. You see a white people doing some yoga poses? Bet. Go do that shit too.
Hmm.
Go do
Okay.
it. Go post it. Go be like, and I did it as well. And why not?
Yes.
Because no, stop it. Continue to push
Hmm.
the barriers. Continue to show them that we're here and we do everything that they do. And it's for black people. Our black people come out just like your white people come out. And we have bomb ass yoga events as well because they're starting
Yes.
to realize the healing and the love and all these things that come from it and that they deserve it
Hmm.
as well.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, that's big. That's powerful and that's very empowering, because yeah, push through that fear. Again, dismantle that fear,. Push through that. I run into a lot of folks that feel like yoga is the devil or is that those
Yes.
whole feelings. And so,
Yes.
and the way that I kind of like to educate them is like it's a science, it's for all people. It's a way of life. So,
Yes.
it is. And so, how do you balance your personal practice and your role as a teacher? Because I remember you saying letting your students know, like, okay, this is some things that I practice personally, but this is something that I'm teaching you all. So how do you balance that? How do you find balance in that?
At first it was a struggle because I felt like as I was teaching, right, I was practicing at the same time, and
Hmm.
eventually I learned that my body did not agree with that.
Hmm.
She was
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
"No, no, I need what I had before. I need more. You need to give me my hour like you used to." Because no, this is not working. And listening to my body is important because I feel like whatever I teach my students, I need to make sure that I practice myself. And if I tell you to listen to your body, I need to
Yes.
listen to mine. So I
Hmm.
learned that I needed to practice more. And so now that's just what I do. I practice more when I need to practice. If my body feels like it, then I go and I do it. If I'm laying in the bed and I'm like, I feel Yeah, then I start stretching in the bed, and I make sure
Okay.
that I get in my personal yoga as much as I can because
Hmm.
I need it as well. And just because I want to offer this gift to people does not mean that I should be depriving myself of said gift. So I
Hmm.
need to do that. And sometimes I walk into class on Saturdays because that's really the community class. But I walk in, I'm like, listen, guys. Usually I'm walking around and I'm touching and I'm feeling you guys, because I'm a touchy teacher. But
Hmm.
today I'm going to be up front on the mat because I need to stretch just as much as I feel like I need to give you guys a stretch. So if
Hmm.
Miss Sunflower starts crying, let it go. We're all going
Hmm.
to be releasing today and we're going to hold
Hmm.
each other. And my students are very receptive to that. And they're like, okay, Grace, so what we doing today? We slowing it up or what we doing? Because you sound like you
Yes,
need to feel it. And
yes.
I'm like, yes, we need to slow it up. We're going to feel class today because I need this just as much as I feel like you guys need it as well. So it's staying in
Mm.
tune with my body and my personal practice as much as I feel like I teach it. Because to me, why am I telling you things if I'm not doing it myself? That's why I got the
Absolutely.
license. I didn't want to start offering yoga and I didn't know as much as I felt like I needed to know. So, yeah, pay attention and listen so that you
Okay.
get what you need so that you can also offer your best self to your students.
Hmm. Perfect. Couldn't have said it any better. How do you think the yoga community can do better in supporting Black yoga teachers? Like how we've come together, we've organized this Facebook group. We are, sharing resources. We're getting the balls
Yes.
rolling. We're doing the interviews. We're making the conversations. But how can the yoga community do better in supporting Black yoga teachers?
Continuing to share resources, continue to share resources. If there's things that you know that are going to help somebody that helped you, especially a Black yoga
Hmm.
teacher, please share that information. Don't
Hmm.
be afraid to do so. I've
Hmm.
learned to share spaces a lot. Paradise, really, okay? It's paradise. He has taught me that networking in the Black teacher community, in the yoga community in general, apologies, let me take that back. And the yoga community in general is
Hmm.
extremely important. And the
Hmm.
networking skills that he has showed me is absolutely amazing. So I think that it's important that we continue to do like co-teaching classes together. I didn't know that was a
Hmm.
freaking thing before he showed
Hmm.
me. And now not only has he showed me, but I've opened my doors to someone else and just continue to open those opportunities to one another. Share
Hmm.
advice, share teaching advice with one another. When me and Paradise, whenever we've had a teaching class together, which I think has been maybe 2 times now, we
Hmm.
sit and we talk, and there's advice that he shares with me, I share with him that I feel like
Hmm.
I carry to my next classes, or when yoga teachers are in my classes, which sometimes makes me nervous, but I love. I'm a big person on if you feel like there's something that you can call out and help me with, do that. I'm not hurt. I'm not like, oh my God, they're correct. No, give me that. I
Hmm.
will take that because if there's
Hmm.
something I feel like I can share with you, I'll tell you, like, hey,
Hmm.
listen, I saw this one part, and during my practice, I realized sometimes it'd be
Hmm.
da-da-da-da-da. Just like they
Hmm.
come to me and like, girl, no, you can really say this, and I'm like, oh, you right, no, bitch. That makes a lot of sense. That helps. Okay, thank you so much.
Yes,
So
yes.
share resources. Don't be afraid to help one another. Collab and continue to
Hmm.
go out there and network and put our
Hmm.
faces in the places. Okay,
Okay.
in
Okay.
all those yoga events, the gala events, all those spaces where you feel like they are, baby, pop up, show your shit, and let
Yes,
them know
yes.
we are here as well. So let's
Yes.
collab, let's do something. Let me come into your space and
Okay.
I'll invite you into mine.
Yes, yes, yes. That's a big thing because so when I speak in the Black community, those things were put in place, right? Willie Lynch letter, all of these Jim Crow, all of these things were put into us for us to be pent against each other, light skin versus dark skin, good hair
Yes.
versus this. And so sometimes naturally we just have that crabs in a bucket mentality. So I love the way that you
Yes.
really express that whole networking and sharing of resources because be
Yes.
honest, there's strength in sharing, right? If I can't share anything with you, Sunflower, then that means I have nothing.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
If I'm afraid that me sharing with you is gonna pipe your business up, then I have nothing.
Yeah.
I need to go back to the
What
drawing
does
board.
that mean?
You
Yeah. What
know?
does that mean? Like we should all be here to support one another. If you win, I win. A step for Black people in yoga in general is a step for all of us, and I've truly learned
Yes.
that. Like, there's no reason, there's no competition between us Black yoga teachers. Okay, we all
Hmm.
offer something different. We all offer something special. We are all beautiful in our own ways. So fuck
Hmm.
that. I'm gonna build you up as much as I build myself up. Because every yoga
Hmm.
student that's a win for you is a win for me too, baby. I'm glad you got that. I want to
Hmm.
see your classes full as well.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes.
Can you can you share a mindfulness practice or meditation practice that you incorporate into your daily life?
So, one thing that I love to do and I share with people is just I find that finding your center, right, or resetting for a brief moment is very, very
Hmm.
important,
Hmm.
especially when you deal with things that like overwhelming emotions or just things that are overstimulating, right, that may cause you to want to, in my case, shut down, not want to
Hmm.
deal with things, or feel like at this point everything has ended, right? Oh my God, there's no more,
Hmm.
goodbye. Take a moment, reset, and breathe.
Hmm.
And when
Hmm.
I say breathe, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to
Hmm.
hold your hands on your heart. I want you to
Hmm.
inhale in through your nose and then exhale out through the mouth. But do it slow,
Hmm.
do it deep. Fill the body all the way up with air. Fill yourself up with air. Literally imagine, vision, feel that, hold it, and then exhale out. And when I do that,
Hmm.
I always envision myself breathing in peace or breathing in comfort, breathing in a hug, breathing in whatever it is that I feel like in that moment is going to hug, warm, embrace, make me feel happy. And then I envision myself exhaling out that stress, exhaling out that tension, that pain, whatever it is that's making me want to cry, whatever it is that's causing me frustration. I want to
Hmm.
physically feel myself breathe that out. And then I take a chance
Hmm.
to do a small breathing technique where I inhale in for 3 seconds. Or I'm sorry, I inhale in for 4 seconds, I hold my breath for 3 seconds, and then I exhale out for 5 seconds. There's a
Hmm.
practice with that goes a bit much longer, but for beginners and for people just starting or for a moment where you just need it, that's enough time. That's enough
Hmm.
time for you to take control of your breath, for you to take control of your body, for you to take control of your emotions, and for you to respond and not react. And for me, that's
Hmm.
the most mindful thing that I have. Because being a person that was in the past, I used to say I was over emotional, which I don't use those terms anymore.
Mhm.
But to be a person that felt that way, I had no control over my emotions. I had no
Hmm.
control what I did or what I said
Hmm.
because I felt like my emotions were in control. So to
Hmm.
take control of my body, my breath, and my emotions is a big thing. So
Hmm.
take a breath, take a moment, breathe, and know that you are in control. Now,
Hmm.
from here, let's
Hmm.
respond, not react. And
Hmm.
let's get that shit that we wanted, okay? Because reacting wasn't going to get us there.
Period. At all.
Okay.
At all.
So that
At
is my
all.
mindful practice that I like to use. I think it's just helpful. It's simple, but it's been very impactful for me.
Absolutely. Some of the best techniques are simple. Just chanting Om. It's like, oh,
Yes.
no, but chant, just chant. Just
Yes.
very simple. So I learned that in India. They were telling me like the most basic techniques are the most potent. So
Mm.
keep that. I love that. Live that. Um, I know that we asked you a lot of questions today. I know that we dive deep today, but I want to take a space to allow you to celebrate anything that's upcoming for you. Share anything that we didn't cover that you would like to talk about, or just anything? Let the people know what's up.
The only thing that I would like to share, is just I want everyone to know that there's definitely a inner light inside of all of us, and I know
Mm,
that it is hard and it is difficult, and there are times that life just lifes, as I like
mhm,
to say.
mhm, mhm,
But just be gracious with ourselves. Continue to know that as we are healing, it's not a destination, it is a journey for some
mm,
of us, and that's okay. So each step is a win. Each day where depression doesn't win is a
mm,
win. Each
mm,
day where you smile or you have a good moment or anything is a win. And as my husband and brother have taught me, to count your wins is extremely important. So count
mm,
your wins each and every day.
mm.
And I don't really have much coming up besides a lot of sexy yoga stuff. So be on the look for
Yes.
that. There has been people that have been hitting me lately for sexy yoga. So yes, I'm here. I support all type
Yes.
of yoga. Okay, if you hit
Hmm.
me and I feel like I can help, I am here. So be on the lookout
Okay.
for that. Other than that, big, petals yoga, ganja yoga stuff still coming.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I am stepping more into the fact that that's the teacher that I am. I am the ganja yoga teacher here in my city, and I'm here
Mhm.
for it. So
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
just love everybody, and I want to continue to shine my light so that it lets other people know that they have a light and that they can shine their light as bright as possible. And
Yes.
lastly, just make sure you're pouring from your overflow. Okay, your cup belongs to you.
Hmm.
And when you pour from your overflow, you can shower people without taking anything from yourself. And that's the best thing. So that's it.
Hmm.
I love everybody. I'm just a happy person. I love everybody.
Yes. 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 Where can folks find you on the socials? Do you offer any virtual opportunities? Can folks in Alabama tune in with you? Is that a thing? Do you have a
Yes.
YouTube? What's the things?
So my YouTube's definitely down. We're gonna address
Okay.
that first.
Okay.
That that's not happening. But you can definitely follow me on Instagram. I am add underscore sunflower underscore yoga. My personal page is the human sunflower. I'm personal, so you can follow me. If you look for me on Facebook, I'm the human sunflower or Sunflower Yoga LLC. I definitely offer virtual classes because I want to be everywhere for everybody. Okay,
Mhm.
so if you're into ganja yoga and you're in Alabama, don't worry. We can still get that session in virtually. We can make it happen. And then other than that, you can visit my website, sunfloweryogallc.com. I am your human sunflower. You can personally call me yours. And that's
Yes.
it.
Thank you so much, Sunflower, for being here with us today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I can't even express. I'm so happy, grateful, just everything for this opportunity. I absolutely loved my time with you. And I love you already. And I love Paradise for bringing me to you and the universe. And
Yes.
I'm just so happy. I'm very excited. And this is my first interview. So thank you so, 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 so much.
What? You are pro. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes. All right, guys. You heard that right now, live and local, just here at the Black Yogi Tribe. Tune in for another episode. We'll see you real soon.